Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tidwell Taste Tour. Thank you for joining us on another episode.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
The Taste Tour decided, you know what?
We decided.
We want liquor. We're tired of beer and we want to try some liquors. We want to give you guys the joy of experiencing liquors with us. Liquors. Now, you listen here. Okay, so what we've got, this is
Red Stag.
Red Stag by Jim Beam, otherwise known as Jim Bean.
Some people do say that.
Yes, they do. I wondered if you noticed that. Jim Bean. I've heard that so many times.
People are dumb.
Alright. This is the Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey infused with natural flavors. Those flavors being spiced with cinnamon.
Well, this is Red Stag whiskey spiced with cinnamon.
It's like Jim Bean. It's like Jim Bean with a little cinnamon.
Like Jim Bean.
Jim Bean.
And what do you expect?
It's Jim Bean.
Comes from the Bean Distillery. It's a little off.
You like that? A little off.
Slightly off.
No, I don't think so. My pouring is impeccable.
Right. Now it's right.
Let's try the Jim Bean. Actually, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty fucking tasty.
Yeah.
Actually. This is room temperature too, just to let you know. I mean, like, you know, room temperature you can taste more.
You taste all the nuances, all the inconsistencies.
Yeah.
You taste them.
Anything that's like, you know, straight from a freezer.
Right.
You can basically get away with anything.
Pretty much.
It says enjoy chilled on it, by the way.
Right. Pretty much, as far as I can tell,
This is not chilled.
they're going after the, like, the Fireball market.
Kind of, but it's not. It's certainly not as cinnamony.
No, it's not. And that's the thing.
If you don't want as much of a cinnamon in your face, it's not like kicking you in the nuts with cinnamon.
It's actually, when you smell it, you get very little cinnamon. It just smells more like whiskey.
Yeah, no, it's actually surprisingly smooth, though.
I was kind of surprised as well.
I didn't expect it to be
40,
that smooth.
right?
Yeah, 40%. That's like, you know, that's some whiskey.
Normal whiskey.
That's whiskey shit. Fireball's 33. And Fireball, almost from just the, I think, a lot of cinnamon, has more of a kick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's the cinnamon. Yeah, it's not the liquor, it's the cinnamon. It's definitely the cinnamon. I remember tasting that stuff and it feels, in your mouth, it feels like a Fireball feels. When you when you eat one of those Fireball candies, once you get towards the middle of it, how your mouth starts sort of feeling like it's flaming up.
Yeah, the cinnamon in this, it's
there.
there. It's there. You definitely taste it, but it's not over the top. I can see this, you know, during winter over ice.
I
could do some
Christmas time with the lights on and shit, drinking this.
some fucking Red Stag over ice, Red Stag with cinnamon over ice. I could definitely see that going pretty well.
Especially Christmas lights are on. Yeah. It's quiet and dark and cold out.
Winter time. I would recommend checking this out actually, because I think in a lot of ways, specifically if you want to drink a whiskey, if you want to drink a whiskey with like a cinnamon hint, this would be a better decision than Fireball.
Yes.
Because Fireball is more like, it's cinnamon all over the place in your face. I think it's really good and has a great taste, but if you want to drink a whiskey that has a little bit of a cinnamon hint, this is better for that.
So we'll get to the ratings in 1 second. Back in 1795, when Jacob Beam began making his Kentucky bourbon, majestic elk, led by proud red stags, dominated the eastern mountains until they were hunted to extinction. In 1997, the elk were reintroduced to Kentucky and are now thriving again, with the largest free-roaming herds east of Montana. I think it's funny how they worded that. They were hunted to extinction, but then they were reintroduced.
Yeah.
So you meant they were hunted to extinction in that area, not everywhere. Because if they were hunted to extinction, they'd be dead.
Yeah, hunted to extinction.
That means they're gone. They're no longer coming back.
Yeah, then they were reintroduced.
Right.
The Lord decided to reintroduce after the extinction.
Basically means they were driven from that area.
So the point is pretty good, though.
7.5 is my rating. 8.0 is my rating. 8.0, yeah. And I really think for my rating, the surprise factor helped. I really wasn't.
Yeah,
I had low expectations.
right, yeah. I want to give it an 8, actually. I mean, and I'm usually pretty stingy with my ratings. Honestly, I did not expect that much from this, just because I almost kind of expected it to be overly spiced with cinnamon.
Same. And
like,
sweet. I expected
and
sweet. When I saw 40% alcohol by volume, I was a little more sweet, but
I thought it was gonna be kind of a crappy whiskey with a little bit of cinnamon in there, and this is actually good.
it is. Pretty much the consensus goes to 8.0s, obviously, but the consensus lets us, know that it's pretty much a whiskey forward flavor, but with a nice, subtle, not too sweet, cinnamony taste to it. Very nice, very good, especially if you're going to have a whiskey on the rocks for the holiday season. Check out the Red Stag by Jim Beam. Beam. Spiced with cinnamon whiskey. Taste Or will return. We thank you for joining us. Stick around and keep watching those videos.